Well, hello everyone, it's Aaron here from Aaron Does Art, and today I'm going to be making an attempt to draw a Greek HYDRA, which, if you don't know what that is, it's that one monster in Hercules where every time Hercules cut off its head, two more would grow. That's the basically simplest way I can put it. So let's get right into it. So drawing this Greek HYDRA is going to be kind of difficult because for me, drawing multiple heads can kind of go wrong a lot of times. So there's probably going to be a lot of time lapsing for me trying to fix everything and get it the way I want it. So the first thing I did when I tried searching, or when I tried to get some inspiration for it, was I went to Google and searched Greek HYDRA, and I got a bunch of different pictures, and the main thing that I saw was it seemed that a lot of people represented it as a sea monster. So that's what I'm going to try to do when drawing my version, is try to make it seem kind of like a sea monster type thing. But I'm going to do it in my own way. So we're giving him, I'm going to give mine 5 heads, I think. So the idea for a Hydra in Greek mythology is that every time you cut off a Hydra's head, 2 more would grow in its place. So every time you cut off a head, it would become more powerful. So I'm going to give mine 5 heads and have kind of like a center head and then 4 more around it. And I'm going to try and give each head a different personality, kind of like King Ghidorah from the Monsterverse, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Because Ghidorah, his center head is kind of the leader, and then the head on the, if you're facing Ghidorah, the head on the right is what the community has labeled Kevin, and he's kind of the curious and nicer one, I guess. And then the head on the left is more aggressive and ready to get into a fight. So that's what I'm going to try to do. This is going to be the center head, I think, and we're going to try to make him look like the leader of the group, kind of a strong stance. Give him some nice dark eyes. And I'm going to try and make every head look very, very similar, as close to the same as I can. And so that might be kind of hard, but I'm going to do it. So this is basically my design for the main head. I think I'm going to fix the horns though.
So give me a second while I do that.
Okay, there's my kind of design for the head and neck. So I'm gonna make each head try and look like this. And I may add on a few things, but this is my basic design, and it's gonna probably take me a really long time, so I'm gonna time lapse through me just drawing each head in a different pose, I guess. So I'll see you in quite a while. Okay, goodness me, that took a decently long time. So there's each of the heads, and as you can see, I did try and give each one of them a different personality. This one is the middle one, and he seems like the leader. This one is top right. He seems kind of curious. This one's bottom right. He seems kind of like evil and just ready to destroy something. This one's top left, and he seems kind of content and happy. This one is bottom left, and he seems just angry and just mad. So that is kind of the heads, and so I'm trying to think of how I want to get into the body now, because the pictures that I saw of HYDRA on Google didn't show most of them with wings, so he can, if I want to make him have a flat chest, I can. So let's try that out. Okay, so I got his chest, front and back legs, and the rest of his kind of body. But one thing that I'm not sure about is tails. So I think I want to give him equally as many tails as he has heads. So that way he's got 5 tails, and I guess each head can control a tail, I think. But one thing that you may have noticed is these little thingy things right here, kind of like what I imagine them as being kind of like needles or something. And I got that because like while I was doing my last little update talk thing, I noticed this Indoraptor toy that I got a few years ago. And I remembered how the Indoraptor has these little spiny things across his back and on his arms. And so I wanted to kind of do something like that because I think it looks kind of cool. So that's one thing you may have noticed. And then I also have these kind of circles, and I imagine those being like bioluminescent lights, maybe. So there's that. But yeah, other than that, there's these little fin things going along his back and underbelly, and I've also got his kind of underbelly plating, I guess, underneath each of his heads on his neck. And yeah, that's about it for what I did. This is not really heavily detailed, but I think that's okay. And so yeah, so I think I'm gonna do 5 tails, and I'm gonna try and make them kind of end in like a curly whip type thing and see how that looks. So give me another several minutes. Okay, there's my 5 tails, and one thing that I already realized I forgot to do is add the little underbelly plating to each of them. So let's do that real quick. And you can notice probably that I did the little fin thing on the top of each tail, or at least each tail that you could see the tip at least somewhat beginning. So that kind of, I wanted to use the fin technique kind of sparingly because I didn't want it to kind of overtake the whole thing. And I think I accomplished that goal. Also wanted to make the center tail feel longer, or at least look like it would be longer, because you can see that it doesn't thin out as much as these other tails do as far along, because I wanted to make the middle head seem still like the leader, even with his kind of strong pose and kind of leaderish looking expression. So that's one thing that I wanted to do, and I'd say I accomplished drawing a HYDRA. So yeah, I think I did this pretty well. One thing that I do often mess up on is trying to draw creatures or monsters with multiple heads, and this was kind of like, can I accomplish this? And I'd say I did pretty well. I don't know if you guys have any feedback for me, let me know, but that is my HYDRA. So hope you guys learned something about drawing in general, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!